Good morning, friends. Today is the 7th Sunday after Trinity. The intent is a day of devotion to the Holy Spirit in the form of purity, the focus on purity. So the intent is purity. And we have the colours of fire, we have the colours of the Holy Spirit. So when we think of the Holy Spirit, we think of the active aspect of God. And so when we're reading anything to do with the Holy Spirit, we should look for that clue. We should look for that activating part, the aspect of the Trinity. And we see it immediately in the collect. The Spirit of all perfect purity. So here's describing the very nature of the Holy Spirit. All perfect purity. And if that's a little bit abstract for us, the collect goes on and says, before whose light an angel veils his face, we, thy humble servants, do now most earnestly desire, and here comes the key point of purity in this context. We earnestly desire to keep our hearts unspotted from the world. Today you'll find this theme popping up in both the Epistle and the Gospel, but it's especially called out here first in the collect. Keep our hearts unspotted from the world. We need to think about what that means for us individually. To reach this purity, we ask for strength from Thee. We recognize that this is a bit of a struggle, and we'll find out what that means for us individually if we think about it. But we've got some clues here from the Epistle. But we think about here, to reach this purity, we ask for strength. We should always be mindful that we can call for strength at any time. We can call to the Holy Spirit for strength, as it's indicated here. We can call to the Father for strength, to the Son, or all three. It's important to recognize that when you're undertaking some form of spiritual practice, you are not on your own. This is not a solo venture. This is a venture connected to becoming closer to the God within, the Christ within. And we should always ask for assistance and help. Does that mean we don't have to do anything? No. It means that when we're struggling, and some days are better than others, it means that we can call on help just to lift our spirits a little, just to open our hearts a little bit more, just to strengthen our resolve just a little bit more. It always helps when we're on a solo journey, just to remember that we're not alone. First of all, we're surrounded by, as it says in the Gospels, cloud of witnesses. What does that mean? That means angels, our guardian angel, and a myriad of other helpers. So they're not there to spy on us, not there to make us uncomfortable. They are there to respond to our spiritual requests and needs and assist us. So we take advantage of it in a really constructive way whenever we can. So in the epistle, which Matt I read this morning, from the Epistle General of St. John, it's talking specifically about these themes. Love not the world. This passage opens in that way. Neither the things that are of the world. And of those, the thing that is called out most prominently is pride. Now, we know about pride. We'd like to think ourselves just a little bit more cleverer than perhaps we are. Just a little bit more something or other than what we really are. It's easy to think when we meet someone that we don't like, well, I don't like that person because of such and such, but mainly I'm feeling just a little bit superior to that person. It's a very natural human reaction, very natural. And it's the thing that, as a more modern translation, refers to the devil as the deceiver, and I like that description. It's what the deceiver plays around with, as far as we're concerned, for our if you like, our human aspects, they're most vulnerable to just a little bit of flattery followed by a feeling of superiority, and that's pride. All wrapped up, can happen in 5 seconds. So just be aware, comes and goes. Recognizing it is as good as neutralizing it. You don't have to be very complicated about it. Just recognize, oh, here's that shortcoming that I've still got. I'm just going to put it aside. And what? Open my heart to whoever you're interacting with and say quietly to yourself, this person is my brother or sister, and in that way you're on the path together. Just removes pride. Bang, gone. You're traveling together. You're companions seeking Christ together, seeking to become closer to the Christ within. So, purity is all about what? First of all, intent, getting our intent sorted out, then starting on the journey. What's the journey? Recognizing, in this instance, that we are somewhat separated from the demands of the world in the sense that our journey, a personal one, is to get closer to the Christ. We have duties in the world. We have obligations. We must attend to those, absolutely. But we just have to be a little bit separated from it. We might use that word unspotted, but it sounds a little bit strange. We might just think about separation, just feeling a little bit distant from, so we can focus on the main thing of life, which is unification with the Christ within, the path of the Christian, the softening of the heart. In the Gospel is from a passage when Jesus is just about to go into the Garden of Gethsemane, just before that Maundy Thursday time of intense concentration by Jesus, a time when he's bringing everything together, all the teachings. He tries to teach the disciples one more time in the Last Supper. And now he's talking to the Father. He's saying to the Father, Father, you and I are one. Please make my disciples aware and operate and walk and talk and deal with one another with that, what we might call mindset. Father, let them remember all the words that I've spoken. This is Jesus talking. All the words that I've spoken are your words. Let them remember that from time to time. And because you and I are one, and they have seen me, when they grow a little bit more spiritually, I'm just adding a little bit more to the text, when they become a little bit more aware, when their heart is softened a little bit more, Pentecost is yet to come, Whit Sunday is yet to come, in this particular part of their story, when they are suddenly aware of the deeper truths, let them genuinely feel one with me, because they've seen me, and so then one with you, Father. This is an intense period of dialogue. It's recorded here so that we can think about it. And we can think, what does that mean to me? What does that mean to me if I'm in the Christian path? If I've been baptized and confirmed perhaps, or at least on the Christian path, then what does that mean? How does that apply to me? Well, it applies to you directly. It applies to me directly. Because Jesus is now speaking not only to the Father in this instance, which is then recorded for us so we can recall it, but it's recorded for us. This is his message to us. Okay, it was recorded a long time ago. But at the level of spiritual reality, not everyday reality, not open your eyes in the morning reality, in spiritual reality, which is different. It's a different reality from the mundane activities of the world. The spiritual reality is a thing. It's a real thing. It's a thing to move towards and become part with, become separated from the world and connected with that part of you. And when you're in that state of mind, when you're just quietly sitting in that state of mind, then this text, the meaning of this text, can slowly mean more and more to you. When you read it all through, it's got lots of words that are this person and that person, or is that me, or is that him? But when you read it quietly and thoughtfully, with the purity of the Holy Spirit, with the intent of the purity of the Holy Spirit, then not only is the heart opened, but the action aspect of the Holy Spirit starts to work in you. How? You can feel the Spirit move in you. You can feel activated by it, energized. So what do you do with that? It's energy to stay on the path that God's appointed for you. And it's energy to find that path, to assist you to find what is most appropriate for you. It's a very powerful energy source. We don't know much about it in science and technology. But this powerful spiritual force is made available to us so we can grow and use it. How? For understanding. And when we have understanding, then we're no longer ignorant and we know how to behave. We know what to do next. We are guided on what to do next. So this is a very special Trinity, this seventh Sunday after Trinity, this intent of purity. And I hope you can see that the intent of purity is, as we get closer and closer to Christ, activating the Holy Spirit. As we separate ourselves just a little when we're doing this process from the world, and our spiritual faculties start to get energized, I hope you can see that this is a real enrichment to our lives, something that's very sustainable, something that can sustain us through all sorts of difficulties and troubles, as well as through the good times. So I commend these thoughts to you on this special Sunday of Trinity. Think about this, meditate on it. This is especially for us, for both you and for me. Let's put it into practice.